But I really want to punctuate that when Ahmad Raza Khan is making these arguments, he's making these arguments as much from the viewpoint of a Sufi scholar as that of a legal scholar. It is also a Sufism which desires distinction. Why is it that the late 19th century and the early 20th century is the time in Indian Muslim history that you have the emergence of such a number of different movements?
When I read, say, for example, Maulana Maududi or Allama Iqbal or Hussain Ahmad Madni, they're not dealing with the idea of nation state. They're contesting nationalism.
So, in this kind of a double header, where you're marked as a minority and you have not only become minoritized numerically in terms of your sheer numbers, but you're also minoritized politically in terms of the loss of political power.
And within that is also Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who is a very modernist thinker in the sense that Shah Waliullah isn't. Shah Waliullah is rooted in tradition.
And this is something, of course, that a scholar like Sabah Mahmood has most powerfully argued, that the imposition of a majoritarian sensibility via the law is something which is inherent to the very structure of the contemporary nation state.
In your sense, how has Muslim majority in Pakistan dealt with their minority conditions by either allowing or disallowing Hindu ritual sovereignty?
So he also said, in fact, Qasim Nanotwi, that yes, in fact, there is nothing in the Quran which would be incompatible with the workings of nature, but it is from the Quran that you investigate the workings of nature, not the other way around.
What was different in a pre-modern Muslim state as compared to a modern Muslim nation state?
That I would highly recommend by the scholar called Gregory Lipton. He's a Muslim scholar, American Muslim scholar, who wrote this book called Rethinking Ibn Arabi.
But what also struck me is that the generic understanding of syncretic traditions in Indian context comes from the Sufistic understanding of that in the Barelvi context.
Because when we engage in that kind of a discourse, we are basically engaging in a colonial Orientalist discourse, which tried to present Sufism as the other of Islamic law, which made this whole bifurcation between Sharia and Tariqa. Let us not make this kind of binary between the Deoband and the Barelvis. Let us go beyond these kinds of Western think tank representations of Islam and Muslims.